The way he acts is nuts. But the way he acts is nuts. But me personally, I like the way he acts because it's like he's not afraid.
He doesn't understand the effect that the stuff that comes out of his mouth. And if we're not careful, he's going to destroy the United States of America.
And so here we are, 5 years later with Fred and Darius Harris. Welcome back to Brief but Spectacular. It's great to see both of you.
Great to see you too.
Great to see you.
So when we first spoke, you were truly a house divided. Darius, I'm curious, how do you feel about former President Trump today?
I like his personality, the way he acted. He was going around saying how he felt, but that's really not how you're supposed to run a country. And the way how he managed things when he was in that position of power, that's what really changed my views on him.
Mr. Harris, have your opinions of Donald Trump changed over the last 5 years since we spoke?
No. I knew from the very beginning that Donald Trump was a phony. I've been involved in politics for over 60 years. You know, I do a lot of homework. And I knew that Donald Trump was not fit to run this country. And it's not about Kamala Harris now. It's about saving this democracy. If Trump is elected and they institute that Project 2025, our democracy is gone.
So, Darius, you and I were texting this past summer about how you were feeling heading into this election. I just checked the date on my phone. It was July 25th, 4 days after President Biden dropped out. At that time, you said you were undecided, that you weren't pleased with how Biden served his term, that you weren't sure about Kamala Harris. We're weeks away from the election. How do you feel today?
I was very displeased with how Biden basically ran his term, and that's what made me undecided. But like I said, once he dropped out, Kamala Harris, I did my research on her, and I like how she puts things together.
What was it about President Biden that felt incomplete to you?
I just felt he didn't have it all the way there. A couple of issues that's been going on in the country, I felt he should have did better.
What was it that influenced your decision-making about Kamala Harris?
She basically stands on what she says. She's really smart. Like, she was real high up, like she was a lawyer. And I know that they really know what they're talking about. She really knows how to get stuff done.
Darius, when we first spoke back in Ohio, you said something that really stayed with our team about your first vote in 2012.
My first vote actually was President Obama. I was just graduating high school. I felt proud when Obama got elected because he actually gave me hope that actually a black man could actually get that high up. I kind of don't see that happening for another 100 years.
This is where we disagree a little bit. It can happen if you make it happen.
Here we are in 2024. It's happened. Vice President Kamala Harris is the Democratic nominee. Darius, what does it feel like to see a black woman rise to the top of the ticket?
Well, it actually feels pretty great because I didn't even think that was ever going to happen.
Men have had their shot. It's time to let the women do something now because the men has totally screwed it up. So let her have a shot. Let's see what she can do.
Mr. Harris, in our conversation, you talked about your mother.
When we would go downtown and my mother wanted to use the bathroom, she had to go downstairs in the courthouse in a dungeon in the basement. And I couldn't understand why can't my mother use the bathroom? And I still carry that hurt with me today because I'll never forget it.
What would your mother think today of this moment in history with Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket?
Oh, I think my mother would be super, super, super impressed. I personally thought that I would never see this day that a woman would be actually taken serious to be president of the United States of America, the most powerful person in the world. But like I said, it's a different generation now. It's his generation's turn. That's the reason I impress upon my grandson all the time. You have to vote. That was one of the reasons why we made the little song, It's Our Time to Vote. Get out and vote. Now, we're not telling people how to vote, but we're saying you better vote.
Explain what the video is that you two made together.
Well, my grandson, he's into this rapping stuff. I don't like it. He's a rapper. And the reason why I don't like it, I said, well, anybody can do that. He tells me, no, it's an art to it. And I said, anybody can do it. All they're doing is talking fast, a bunch of mumble jumble. So I told him, okay, you put together some beats. I'm going to make a rap. We did the whole thing in 40 minutes, and I thought it was pretty good.
Vote, my brothers and sisters, vote.
Yes, sir.
Our history is not being taught properly. Vote, my brothers and sisters, vote.
It was basically all in one take.
Like I said, anybody could do it. We did the whole thing in 40 minutes. Anybody could do it.
Mr. Harris, what did it feel like for you to collaborate in this creative way with your grandson?
Well, it felt great because I think he understands now I'm not just this old man. I can still do things. You know, I was giving his generation my knowledge, and he was giving me their beats, their music. So we put it together. Now you got Granddaddy Fred and Boss Fred and Darius.
I was very close with my grandfather. I was lucky to actually interview him on camera once. What is something, Darius, you'd like to say to your grandfather that you appreciate about him?
Appreciate how he raised me, everything that he does for me, and the knowledge that he instilled and instills inside of me.
And how I bail him out all the time when he gets in trouble.
Mr. Harris, your turn.
Let me think about that for a minute. No, the thing that I appreciate, you know, he does listen. You know, we debate back and forth, but he will listen. And when I'm right, he says, you were right. You know, he'll come in and say, and I say, I told you. My name is Fred Harris.
And I'm Darius Harris, and this has been our brief but spectacular take.
Perfect. You got it. Who's in the background? Who's in the background?
My grandma.
Oh, please say hello.
Say hello.
Yeah, she's standing back there nitpicking.